Miami-Dade College Kendall Campus Honor Band Festival. On behalf of Miami-Dade College, the Kendall Campus, I welcome you to here, and I'd like to thank Miami-Dade College first and foremost for supporting this event, which we do every year. We're able to bring in 200 students to enjoy two international guest conductors. And this year, we have guest conductor composers, which is another level of experience that they're getting to appreciate here. As well, we bring in an international touring ensemble to yet inspire further the education of these students and just to inspire them to continue growing as musicians. And that's what this event is really all about. I won't talk any longer now. I'm going to introduce our guest ensemble to you. This is a group that I've been trying to get back here to the college for 4 years. They tour all around the world. They've been on the road for 30 years, often on the road for 30 years. I actually had the opportunity to perform with them for a few years, and I'm so excited that you are here to be able to enjoy their music. So please welcome with me the Dallas Brass.
Thank you all so very much and welcome. My name is Michael Levine and we are the Dallas Brass. We are privileged to be performing as part of this honor band weekend, and it's just such a great event, and it brings back memories for all of us because all the members of the Dallas Brass started playing back in school band, and we had our chance to play in different honor bands and festivals, so it just warms our hearts to see the students here and involved and excited and learning and growing, and it's just, we're really honored to be part of it, I will tell you that. So anyhow, we're going to play just a few tunes, and the band is on stage so that they're ready to go when we finish, so they're listening from behind at this point, but anyhow, we're going to play a variety of pieces for you. Obviously, we won't be doing our full concert here this afternoon, but we opened, since we are a Texas-based group, we opened with a Western motif. The music of Elmer Bernstein, the theme from the 1960 movie, The Magnificent Seven. Bernstein captured the spirit of cowboys and sunsets with his music like nobody had ever done before. In fact, the American Film Institute considers the score to Magnificent Seven as one of the top 10 movie scores of all time. And I'm sure many of you are aware that a new version of Magnificent Seven has been released just a couple of months ago, and the producers decided to go a different direction with the music, so I guess time will tell whether it lives up to the legacy of the original score. From there, we turn to the music of a New Orleans-born composer, Louis Moreau Gottschalk. Not exactly a household name. Gottschalk lived back in the mid-1800s, around the time of Abraham Lincoln, and he was a piano virtuoso, and he wrote most of his music for that instrument, including the piece we just played, which was called Tournament Gallop. Okay, at this time, we're going to take you all the way back to the early 1900s. This was called the Golden Age of Bands. It's when John Philip Sousa was touring the world with his illustrious band, and going to a band concert on a beautiful Sunday afternoon or a summer evening was definitely the thing to do. People would take their picnic baskets and blankets and go to the town square or the city park to enjoy the music. And if you were fortunate enough to hear one of the great bands like Sousa's band, that was the opportunity of a lifetime. But more often than not, it was the local town band who would be playing the concerts. The musicians were not professionals, but they were the pride of the townspeople. And inevitably, at one of these concerts, a member of the band would come out front to play a solo piece. And more often than not, it was a brass player, and most common, a trumpet player, or actually a cornet player back in those days. Well, we wanted to do a piece like that for you here this afternoon, but our dilemma was that we have two wonderful trumpet players, and we couldn't decide who should play, Terry or Luis. And we came up with a great solution because we found a wonderful piece that features not one, but two trumpet soloists, and we're going to play it for you now. This is called You and I. Astorios. Shenandoah, certainly one of the most beautiful of all the American folk songs. Historians say it dates back to the early 1800s, and there are many stories as to the origin of Shenandoah. One of the most popular is that it tells of the longing of an American fur trader who fell in love with the daughter of a Native American chief by the name of Shenandoah. More recently, it was used prominently in a movie by the same title. When I say more recently, I'm talking 1960 actually. A movie by the name of Shenandoah. Anyone know who starred in that movie, Shenandoah? Anybody? Say it loud if you know it. I know you guys know. Jimmy Stewart starred in Shenandoah. Great movie, certainly one worth seeing. And also, I wanted to mention the instrument that Juan just played. Juan, if you could grab that again. In fact, let me just tell you a little bit of background on this instrument. Paul, if you could come down front a little bit, please. This last summer, Paul's tuba became a proud father. It's the baby tuba, that's right. Technically, this is called the E-flat alto horn, an instrument that's not often seen in our country because it's not part of our American concert band tradition, and certainly not our orchestral tradition, but it's very much a part of the brass band tradition out of Europe, England and Germany and so forth, and so you don't often see or hear this instrument, but we're glad to have it in the band, and particularly glad to have Juan in the band to play it as beautifully as he does. Isn't it beautiful? Let's give him a hand. And actually, Luis is feeling a little left out here because he wants me to tell you a little bit about the trumpets. We have a wide variety of trumpets in the group as well. They come in all different sizes and shapes, the smallest of which is this one here. That's the piccolo trumpet. Typically heard in Baroque music when you hear the music of Bach or Handel. Handel's Messiah is a great example where the piccolo soars out over the orchestra. It has a brilliant, bright sound. And the other extreme, we have the flugelhorn. Do you have a flugelhorn? If you could just... Yeah, would you please? Yeah. Juan actually plays some flugel in the show as well, we'll see later on. The flugel has a much darker, more mellow sound, a very suave instrument, and it's often played by jazz players, and Chuck Mangione is another name who's known for the flugelhorn. And then Terry's holding the standard. This is the B-flat trumpet, the classic of all the trumpets, and there you can see the difference. I think you can see the difference in size if you guys could hold those up. In fact, actually, Juan, if you and Terry could switch places real quick. Oh, yeah, good. Then they'll be in order of size. Now the trumpets will be in order of size. Yeah, that's right. The piccolo, the B-flat, and the flugelhorn. There we go. All right, and just so the folks over here can see, why don't you point them over in this direction, and then, nice, beautiful. Okay, and actually the guys have a little... If you're clapping for that, we know we got you right where we want you here today. That's right. Hey, but the guys worked up a short little demo they'd like to play for you. A classic tune that's loved by trumpet players worldwide, and you can hear the difference in sound between these three. Check it out. Okay, we'd like to play one more short piece for you before the concert band takes over, and I know you're all looking forward to that. But we'd like to play a classical piece of music for you right now. This is a piece written by the great Italian composer Giacomo Rossini, and it's the overture to one of his operas. Now, we include this in our regular concert program, which is called American Musical Journey. Even though the piece is not American, it does have strong American connections, because back in the early 1900s, along with band concerts, another common form of entertainment was simply listening to the radio. Students, perhaps you've seen pictures in the history books of this sort of activity, where people would gather around in their living room or the parlor, and they would not only listen to the radio, they would watch the radio. I mean, they really had to use their imagination in those days. The radio stood about this tall off the ground, and of course there were no televisions, no movies. This is before all that. And it was a real family ritual. They would tune in week to week to follow their favorite programs. They had not only music, but they had comedies and love stories and dramas and you name it, they had it. Well, for some reason, one of the most popular radio programs incorporated this Italian overture as their theme, and it became part of our own American culture at that time. Now, before we play, I'd like to mention one other thing, that this is one of the most challenging pieces we have in our Dallas Brass repertoire. It was intended for a full orchestra, including strings. Fortunately, our trumpeters, Luis and Terry, have agreed not only to play the original trumpet parts, but they will play the intricate and rather dazzling violin parts as well on their trumpets. So when the fingers start moving at lightning speed, you'll know that those are the parts intended for the violins. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome now to La Scala, the home of the Italian Grand Opera.
Wow, all right. Well, they're going to be back at the end of the show. Now, for the moment that we've all been waiting for, moments, really. You guys look great up here, by the way. Really, really beautiful. Yeah. And you guys look great out there, too, but we'll get to you in a little bit. We're going to reset the stage a little bit. And while we do that, we'd like to take this moment to make a few thank yous. And I'd first like to invite to the stage the person who really helped to make this all possible. He's the one who signs the checks. The chairperson for the Music, Theater, and Dance Department at Miami-Dade College Kendall Campus, James Broderick. I call him Jim.
Well, thanks all. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. Nice crowd we have here. Special thanks to Brian. You don't have any idea what it took for him. This is like moving the earth to get this to happen. Brian and Opus One, which is some of these students right here. This is our student group, Opus One, and they are integral to our department, but they've been working really hard to make this happen. Myra Cobia over here, she's been also, that's it. She's helped organize this, helped with the sectionals, with the different instruments. I mean, back in the old days, when I was in band, we had like honor bands and all state and all county. These kind of events are so important to the students because it's a chance for them to meet other students, other musicians. You know, music is one of those collaborative sports. It's not competitive. They get together and they learn from each other. They work together, and eventually they're all going to be professional musicians, right? No? Who's going to be a professional musician up here? We got one? Come on now. No professional musicians? How about you guys? I see that's the real deal down there. All right, I'm getting with you guys. All right. Well, anyway, I'm not going to take too much longer. They're going to do their thing. I want to thank you all for being here. Especially you students and band directors. Thank you for coming out and bringing your instruments. And I can't wait to hear you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right. I also want to thank the Opus One students for all that they do. And we've already thanked Myra, but I'd like to personally thank her again. Myra Cobia, I could not have done any of this without her. She is an amazing woman, a band director for 30 years, and she's with us now at the campus. And so I'm going to have her, please welcome Myra. And she has some thank yous that she's going to do.
Thank you, Professor Neal. My pleasure. We don't want to forget to thank the parents because you are the reason this happens. When I was younger, I started in junior high. You can imagine that was many years ago. We had junior high school. But my parents were always at my events, my performances, and in my band concerts and then orchestra, and it's very important to me. So kudos to all our parents who've done a super job with the students. I've been real impressed with their conduct, their attendance. It's amazing, especially this group on stage has been incredible. Considering the weather, oh my goodness, we're so impressed. So thank you for taking part and supporting the arts. And hopefully you'll continue to be able to do that, and hopefully many of you on stage will someday be in those shoes and continue that tradition. I want to thank again the principal, Benny Valdez, the band director here at Miami High, Mr. Touros, the Stingery Booster Association. If Debbie Broncalo is in the house, if you'll please come up, we'd like to present a certificate to the boosters, or Alina Armas, a certificate of appreciation presented to Stingery Band Parents, Inc. in support of the 2016 MDC Honor Band Festival. Is Debbie in there? She is. Thank you so much. Thank you, Debbie, for helping us. We appreciate it. You're welcome. Of course, our guest conductors, composers actually, Victor Lopez, who will be conducting the Honor Concert Band. Victor, if you'll come out a moment, please. Victor? Former Miami High band director and principal. and Teacher of the Year. You can read a little bit more about Victor Lopez in the program, a very accomplished master musician. And Robert Sheldon, if he is in the auditorium with the principal. And you notice on the program, each conductor has chosen one of their actual compositions for the program, so that's kind of really exciting. Oh, and I need to thank, of course, the Miami-Dade County Public School Band directors that took the time to take part in this event by nominating the students that are on stage today. We couldn't have done this without them. There were a total of 18 high schools represented this year and almost 200 students. So thank you so much, directors, for making this possible. And you're in the house, we can please stand. Are there any band directors here this afternoon? They are busy. Okay, you too. There they are. Yes, thank you so much for all you do. A lot of hard work, I know. And then we have our music club.
Opus One Music Club. Thank you again, Opus One Music Club. Okay, we continue with the program now, and then we'll have a short intermission after this wonderful concert band plays. Then the Wind Symphony will be on stage after the intermission, and then the Dallas Brass will be back for the last 20 minutes of the show.
great concert today. We've had 3 days to rehearse these pieces, and it's been magnificent. It's amazing. We have students from all over the district, and I think there's one from Key Largo. It's amazing what we have accomplished in the last couple of hours, actually. And it's great to be back home. As many of you know, I was band director here and then came back as a school principal. And it's always great. The first piece that we played is called Corrido Boca by Jaime Tejedor. And one of the most famous marches, Spanish marches in the world. The second arrangement that we're playing is called Chant de Duco by Francis Macbeth. Lost Ship, and this was a commission piece that I wrote for a band in Canada, Calgary, and it was, the purpose of the commission was to celebrate Sir John Franklin School's anniversary, and I think it's the 10th anniversary. And it was supposed to, and I think it did, they liked it, and it was supposed to catch the essence of the expedition that Sir John Franklin did while coming down the East Passage, the West Passage in Canada. It's grade 3, and it's been published by Barnhouse Music. And I hope you like it. This will be our last piece, and we had a great time. And I hope you enjoy this. Erebus Enter.
the house lights up. We're going to have a brief intermission. Everyone feel free to get a little drink of water or some concessions, and we'll be back with you in about 10 minutes.